Let's call to order the November 9th, 2021 November Park and Recreation Committee meeting, November 9th. Oh my God. All right, we're called to order. Let us begin. So we'll give everybody a minute. There's nobody in the waiting room, is there? Okay,
No.
so we can move on. Do we have any commissioner updates? I have none.
I do not.
Mike, you're muted.
So I am, no.
Okay, all right. So let us move on to the minutes from the last meeting.
Then make your lunch.
Any discussion about it, or we?
Yeah,
Good.
whenever anybody's ready, just feel free to make a motion.
I'll make a motion to accept the October Park Commission minutes.
I shall second that.
All right, all in favor. Aaron,
Yes.
Saul,
Yes.
Mike,
Yes.
and I miss as well. The minutes are approved. All right, next on the agenda is the acceptance of the Mighty Oak donation. Now we have to vote on that, right? And then that has to go to the selectmen.
That's correct.
Okay. So do you want to give us a little, well, the background's in front of us, but did you want to discuss it or?
No, I mean, so Bobby very generously donates to the Youth Scholarship Fund every year. We're really honored for him to be able to do that and think of us. So they had just finished their October fundraiser. So they were donating the $2,500 after that event. So yes, you're correct. So we would vote to accept it. And then it will also go to the select board at their next meeting, and hopefully they will support it, which I feel like mostly that happens. So that's it. That's the process.
All right. So does anybody have any comments or anything on this? Any questions? If not, we'll entertain a motion to accept the donation.
I definitely motion that we accept this donation from Bobby in the Mighty Oak Fund.
I will second that.
All right. All in favor. Aaron,
Whew. Yes.
Saul,
Yes.
Mike,
Yep.
and I'm yes as well. So the motion to accept the donation is approved. And now we have Tim with special events.
All right. So we had trunk or treat a couple weeks ago. Now I can't believe it's been a couple weeks, but we had an absolutely fantastic turnout. We shifted the event due to weather to Friday night, hosted in Town Hall parking lot. I can honestly say that we probably had double the number of people that we've ever had at a trunk or treat. As you can see in the photo in the bottom corner, we had the Park and Rec team there. We were Goldilocks and the Three Bears. We had Refrigerator Perry Bear. We had a Care Bear, and we had a Gummy Bear. And then we had Aaron, who didn't get the memo and came as a punk rock, whatever that is. He's down there kneeling in the photo. But
He has golden hair. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, Goldilocks. Okay. He almost got the memo.
Kim, can you review the bears again? What did we have?
We had a Care Bear. We had Refrigerator Perry from Da Bears.
Okay, all right.
No one got the pun joke.
Oh no,
So yeah, it was an awesome event. The weather was great. The turnout was great. We partnered with the PTA for the first time, and I mean it was outstanding. Finley. And we will be, we'll definitely be looking at doing the same thing again for next year. With a couple logistic things. Obviously, we could have had better lighting and stuff like that. But I would also say that we also had our most successful turnout for a movie that we've had since we started doing movies. We showed Hotel Transylvania, and we've had about a little over 50 people there. So it was quite the showing. It was a really, really good time. And in our other corner over here, we had Phil from Highway with the Bobcat, and I gave Chris and Steven a call. He did absolutely outstanding job, and he was totally stoked to be there and can't wait to do it again next year. So great turnout, great event.
There's Kevin.
Any questions on Trunk or Treat?
No.
No, we all stopped by. It was great. Yeah, I think maybe, I don't know, maybe start before dark, if that, it's a fine line. It was fun being in the dark, but it's also, I know if I'd had littler kids, that would have been a lot more stressful.
Yeah. So just so everybody knows, the intention was we originally booked out the alumni field parking lot where we were going to have plenty of lights and everything else, but with the weather switch and the football game happening that night, for safety reasons, this was our safest option. 300 King obviously has no lights. So, this was the next best thing. And, like I said, logistically, we'll work on those things for next year. We typically do the event on a Saturday. I think it was much more successful on a Friday night, and we'll definitely look at same thing for next year with more lighting. It was funny. The fire truck was packing up, and I immediately thought he could have put up all of his tower lights, and we would have had plenty of lighting. But hindsight's 2020.
I will say I did hear a couple people mention missing the parade. That would be the only other comment.
Yeah, so I did talk to a couple people. I also followed up on a couple emails, and unfortunately, due to the condensed timeline that we had moving it up to town hall, and we also had our DJ who does our events, his computer system completely crashed. So we missed out on a couple of things that we had set up. So we will get that back into the fold and try to fix those things for next year.
Excellent. Yeah, and by no means are these I think it was a great event, and good to change the time given the weather and all that. So it's just things that were heard and planning for next year.
Yeah, no, I appreciate the feedback, and I just wanted everybody to know that we did get that similar feedback via email and a couple of phone calls I received, and I did send kind of a blanket response of the whys, and really it was the date switching, the condensed timeline, and the fact that unfortunately DJ Mike's equipment died. All right. Moving on.
Yeah, you got both on.
All right. So, Holiday Helpers is coming up. It's pretty much in full swing. Today was the last day for applications to be turned into Alicia.
Tomorrow is.
Tomorrow, sorry. Holiday Helpers, typically we do a 5K race. Originally, we had done the turkey trot, which we had a lot of competition from neighboring towns, and ours was dwindling over the years. We've since run 2 5Ks in cooperation with The Point, which, they were kind of successful. They weren't really big events. So a couple things in order to try to make it more family friendly, more age friendly, and draw a bigger crowd. We're actually going to try to switch this event to a bowl-a-thon. So normally a typical bowl-a-thon fashion, we ask people to raise money by the number of pins they're going to knock down. Because of COVID and not really wanting to ask people to go door to door, we just kind of set a donation fee in here as far as the team costs. So it's going to be $200 per team, up to 6 players. We are going to have student teams that are $160 per team, up to 6 players. If you want to play individually and get put on a team, it's $50 per person for an adult and $25 per person for a child. Each of these team fees includes 3 games, your bowling shoes, a pizza, a pitcher of soda, and the prizes that would come along with winning. Basically, how we're going to do winning is it'll be your 4 highest scorers in each game will tally their scores for a total, and that score will be what you submit towards prizes and trophies. So we're going to do this. This slide is actually wrong. It's Alicia. Just if you do anything else, this one has the wrong date. It's the only one with the wrong time on it. So the date is correct. It's December 11th, 2021, but there's going to be we opened it up. We're going to do 1 to 3 o'clock is going to be our first grouping of bowlers. So our first 12 teams. And then 4 to 6 o'clock is going to be our second grouping of 12 teams. The 4 to 6 o'clock timeframe, we're going to do a glow bowl session. So we're hoping to attract more of the student teams and, family teams maybe at that opportunity time to come in and do that. Today we did send out sponsorship requests. So there is a $1,000 title sponsor out there. There's $500 lane sponsors. There's $250 team sponsors, and then under $250 for either just holiday helpers donations or in-kind donations. The in-kind donations would either be prizes that go to the winning teams, such as gift cards or whatever the business has in mind, that would go to the first place teams in both categories of adults and students. And then the in-kind donations are typically donations that we'd use to stuff the swag bags. So I know the point is looking to put together a bunch of swag bags just like they used to do for the race, as well as make a monetary donation. We're going to do our Holiday Helpers Dining Night at the tavern, like we've done in years past, where the tavern donates 20% of all food for the evening back to Parks and Rec as a donation to the Holiday Helpers Fund. And then we have a couple other things in the pipeline to help raise some money for this year. So as it sits now, that's what we're doing. There's 5 park commissioners. You can have 6 on a team. So it'd be wonderful to see a park commissioner team, or if you guys want to grab some of your buddies and put some teams in, that would also be really, really fun. It's going to be a great day. Acton Boldrome really helped us out and put everything together. They helped us with some sponsor point levels, and hopefully, this becomes a successful event, and we can figure out, hopefully we'll get some more draw from seniors and families and students rather than a 5K in the middle of winter.
This is awesome.
Mike, if you'd
We
like
have
to
to
put together
put
a
in-
5K course for you, I can.
Do we have to put in a meeting post for all the commissioners to be in one spot at the same time?
I think if they're on different lanes, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
So
Not much of a team then.
are there any questions about the change of the event, about how we're trying to do things with the event, anything like that?
No bumpers, right?
For the younger kids, yes. The parents will, it's just like a regular bowling thing. You'll have the opportunity to put the bumpers up and down if you have younger kids that are participating in your family group.
Oh, that's a deal breaker for me.
And are we charging per head? Like, is there an age limit?
There's not. It's whatever 6 people you want to put on your team. So if you want to bowl as a family, then come as a family and bowl together and put your, top 4 scores in.
Sweet.
Sounded like fun till the family thing came up there, Tim.
So
So you're back to the commissioners team, is what you're saying?
Exactly.
I mean, and we can work if people want to do, like an adult team on lane 1, and you want to put all your kids in the same team on lane 2, we can totally, put something together like that. It's just a matter of, that's just logistics, and those things are easy to figure out. So yeah.
I think it would be better if you say the adults are on lane 1 and the kids are on lane 10, and then
Got it. Okay.
a lot more enjoyable.
How many
See if
lanes
we
are
can
there? How far over can we go?
12. You can go to 12.
Okay. No, I think it's great. Just in terms of the fundraising side, are you budgeted to sort of match what you've done in the past, or what's the?
So if we can get 10 teams at this price point, we'll make what we made in our most successful race year.
Okay, great.
So if we look at numbers wise, based off of what each runner would pay and, our potential for the amount of teams that we can get, this could be much more successful in raising money for the Holiday Helpers Fund than the race ever was. But obviously, My goal is 10 teams this year. If we can get to, what we were 2 years ago in the race, that'd be awesome. If we can, grow this event and mature it over the next couple of years, I think, we definitely have the potential to, really do some good for the town of Littleton and especially the families who need it, both in holiday helpers and, we can have the conversation later down the road if we're successful as far as, does some of this go towards a scholarship fund as well in order to, fortify that moving down, because we've been really fortunate with business donations over COVID. And it'd be really nice to keep the scholarship fund as healthy as it is right now. All right. Anything else?
No, thank you, Tim.
All right, the fun stuff. So department finances, update on program coordinator hiring process, and there's some office scheduling pieces I just want to chat with you about and see if we can amend some dates here. So if you want to switch to the next one, we'll do our month to month as we usually do. We ran this report on at the beginning of the month. So October, we had a really solid positive month, which is really great, especially in fall. Usually we see less of the revenue coming in. We've mentioned that before. So we were in the positive of 2,600, which is great. And if you look at the yearly income chart from our MyRec system, we definitely have brought in more money in October than we did the previous year, which at that point in time, though we were still in COVID, we were fully operating the monitored remote learning program. So yeah, we are doing pretty darn good. Questions, comments about month? Nope. Okay.
Nope.
Year to date, please. Thank you.
I fixed all your pie charts for this week.
All right. So year to date, say that again.
I just wanted you to know I fixed all your pie charts for this week.
So we will talk about that later because I want to know why it's been doing that. So anyway, thank you. I appreciate that very much, Tim. All right. So as you can see, the revenue is definitely creeping up as we go on. We started the year at 300,000. So we're doing pretty darn good bringing the revenue in. One thing I did want to mention is those town transfers that are sitting there in that bottom left-hand corner. Those still have yet to be processed. Alicia's had a lot to take on as the finance director, and she's been trying to get through town meeting, and now we're going into budget season. So it is on her list, but it's just definitely not the top priority. So we will get there. So as soon as those go into play, we should be able to see some changes a little bit, but I will account for that and let you know if we have like a big jump one way or the other. So like special events, right? That's going to go up because Tim's going to get that influx of the 25,000 that was meant to go in on July 1. So otherwise, I mean, we're doing really good. Like I said, this is the time of year where we don't really spend a whole lot of money other than our full-time employees, a few seasonal employees from time to time if we're doing like a vacation program, something like that. But we're also not expending a whole lot of money on things either. So we'll probably maintain where we're at, I would say, over the next couple of months. Questions, comments, concerns?
Nope.
Okie dokie, Smokey. Next slide, please.
So I do just kind of want to point out and just say thank you also. A large part of what's going on now is, Kaz has kind of been a one-man band in his position. And his programs have been wildly successful since, we came out of the summer. So, I mean, between flag football and adults and some of the new stuff that he has going on, it's really been super successful. He's worked a lot of Saturdays and Sundays for the past couple of months, trying to keep us going, and he's done an amazing job. So if you guys get an opportunity and you guys see Kaz, please, thank him for his hard work, because a lot of what you see on these charts is directly attributed to what he's done for the department in the past couple of months. All right. I think we lost Alicia. Is everybody else here?
Yep.
Yep. You're the host now,
Yep.
Tim.
All right. So, just as far as it goes, to give everybody a rundown of where we're currently at. So, just kind of, I was just talking about some of the stuff that we have going on. So adult sports right now, we're $8,000 net off of that, with our leagues that we have going on. We have very little overhead. So that's a very successful program. Our after school programs, which include half days, are about 6,100. Sports camps for the year are at 21,000. Community ed, about 6,000. Teen Adventures was our summer program that we had, one of our lower grossing programs that we ran. Camp T for the year, we had a net of 93,000. And then our beach revenue was right around 7,000. We do still have a couple bills to be paid for pumping the tight tank in September. So that is going to come down slightly for the beach numbers. I believe Alicia is trying to get back in. Give me 1 second. Alicia, you back? You're on mute. Hang on.
Okay.
You there?
Yeah, I'm back. Sorry, I'm on my cell phone. I'm not sure what happened with my laptop. I just kind of got kicked out.
Okay.
I did hear for like a blip that you were talking. So did you go over some of the program stuff?
Yeah, I just did a quick rundown and just said we have two tight tank bills that need to come out of the beach line item. So that number is going to decrease by about $1,200. But other than that, those were where we sat for the year in each of our budget groups.
And we do have ski that needs to come onto that list. So next time that we meet, we'll have that added to the program list. There was one more, right? I thought there was one other program that needed to go on there.
Well, we don't have vacation programs in here, which are going to be something that's going to be coming online.
That will be coming up. Yeah, you're right. Any questions on any other program?
No,
Expenditure,
I don't have a
budgeting?
question on the programs. What would be nice to see on this would be percentages.
Okay.
Because
What kind of
sitting here
percentages
trying to do
specifically?
the math. And then I think it would be cool, obviously, with the last couple of years and the pandemic and everything, it would be pointless. But then to be able to carry this forward in future years and sort of show us how we're doing, how things change on an annual basis.
Okay. So what percentages specifically are
Well,
you?
just, the revenue is X percent, we've got 100% is the total, like for sports camps, 56,864, but then the revenue's 40% of what our income is 40% of the total revenues for that program, just to give us some comparisons. But again, I'm thinking more down the road as we start comparing how things are going year to year. So you can say, oh, you know what, we're only at 35% this year because X costs more. We have to do this or that. Just a thought. But just in comparing these, it'd be nice to just see the different components broken down by percentage, so we can, I don't know, decide. It's obviously clear what's more profitable. But that's kind of how I look at things when I'm looking at numbers, is that sort of breakdown.
Okay. I
Thank you.
will take that on and make that happen.
And I guess just, throwing out last year for the moment, but in terms of overall revenue and net versus revenue, how do those numbers compare to sort of history or?
So it's kind of wonky, right? Because of COVID. I would say that, none of the numbers are really correct. And honestly, we're still in it. So as far as a typical fall goes, I think we're doing really well and that we are similar to what we had been in the past. And we're not running the RISE program right now. That's the teen after school program. We are hoping to be able to bring that back. So that's something that, I can definitely next meeting, bring in those numbers and take a look at where we've been traditionally over the last couple of years. I can definitely do that for you guys.
Yeah. I was thinking more in terms of like the, for Camp T is, we're somewhere, I don't know, a little more than 30% of the revenue was net. Is that typical or lower or higher than usual or?
I'd say that's usually, yeah.
And then like is the beach usually pretty close to break even? Okay.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
historically, Saul, in the past 5 years, let's call it, our best year at camp were about a little under $100,000 off that mark. Camp wages typically run about 33%. So cost is about 33% of our revenue base that we bring in there. And then the beach, the best that we ever had as far as the year was concerned was we did, I believe it was $9,700 the summer before COVID was our profit margin that summer as well.
Yep.
So those are in those two categories, those were the best two performing years the summer prior to COVID. So $9,700 at the beach, and I believe it was $330 and change at camp prior to wages and expenses.
330. Yep, that's correct. Shoot, what was I going to say? The one thing to keep in mind with this as well, as we are transitioning away from an enterprise fund and we're going on to the general / revolving combination, things are definitely going to change and look differently. So that's something, we'll talk about that a little bit later, but as we go into the budget season, those are things that, I'm going to have to work out with Alicia, our finance director, FinComm, select board, all of those people, so that we can get to a place where, we have identified what our general fund needs to be exactly to start us off next year. And then we also have to work out what the revolving is going to look like. So there's some items that are included in our enterprise. Everything's included in the enterprise that will be piecemealed out and just be put into the general fund. And that's something that's just going to come out of the town. And then the programs are going to be responsible for equipment, seasonal staff, but you're not going to have to pay for the full-time staff or office supplies or, so we are going to see a big jump, a big difference of what that's going to look like moving forward into next year. Well, fiscal year 23. Yep. Any other questions?
No, not by me.
I can only see like 4 of you at a time. Hey, Mike. Okay. I thought you were speaking up to say something. Sorry, Mike. All right. So just an update on the program coordinator hiring process. So we have actually gone through our second round interviews, and we definitely have a few candidates that we're interested in. We've been in kind of a holding pattern because HR is trying to figure out the details about the drug and alcohol testing. So we have that one last position to fill. So I'm hoping by the latest the next meeting in December that we'll be able to tell you who that individual coming on board is. And that's the last that we need to hire for our full-time staff currently.
What are the details about the testing?
So the nuances between marijuana is legal in the state of Massachusetts, both medically and recreationally, but federally it's still illegal. So they have to sort out, are they going to continue to do drug testing? Are they not going to continue to do drug testing? You know, is a medicinal marijuana card allowed? Is it not allowed? Like, there's a lot of stuff that, you know, I would have hoped they would have kind of made a decision by now. But, you know, they're just trying to make sure that they're making the right decision.
And is this the one, this is the same, did we fill a position or is this the same position that?
We did. So there was two
Okay.
of those spots open. So Sam Sangus, he came on a couple weeks ago. He's been amazing. And then, yes, we have one more spot that we need to fill so that we're back to our full level staffing where we were previously before COVID.
Okay.
Any other questions?
No.
All right. So office scheduling. So there's two things. Well, one, I wanted to make a request of the commission. If we could potentially close the office the day after Thanksgiving. I think all of the staff has asked for that time off so that they can spend quality time with their families, which we haven't been able to do in a very long time. The reality is not a whole lot of people come in on Fridays these days anyway. And what was the other component I was going to say? I don't remember. Anyway, so, the other piece is, in the past, they've typically said that you would have to, anyone that would want as an hourly staff to make those hours, you know, to communicate with them. But as I said, everyone's requested that time off. So I would like to oblige that. So in doing so, we would have to close the office that day.
What if there's a recreation emergency?
Well, I am always available by phone.
Oh, stop.
Tom Clancy knows how to call me, and so does Matt and Jeff.
I think Aaron looks like he's got a recreational bat cave there, so I think he's on duty for that day for emergencies.
Yeah.
Well,
that's
you know, I'm off
you
for
guys
the
have to
day,
come
so
in.
that's fine.
We could put some mannequins in the office and just hope nobody notices.
If you want to come hang my posters for me, that'd be fantastic.
Nobody knows where Kaz's new office is. We can just, say that he was
Yeah.
up there. People couldn't find him.
I think a mannequin may do more work than Kaz. But, oh no, I'm sorry. I'll apologize to him later. I make a motion to approve closing the office the day after Thanksgiving, Friday, November 26, 2021.
Second.
All right, all in favor, Aaron,
Yes.
Mike,
Yes.
Saul,
Yes.
Kevin,
Yes.
and I'm yes as well. There we go. We'll be closed the 26th.
Thank you,
Can I ask
guys.
a question?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Could we just make that a thing? I mean, let's be honest here. I mean, the Friday is a dead day.
So
Are we
they
able to
talked
make that
about
sort of
it.
thing or no?
So they talked about it previously in the town, but at the end of last year, because I think they were going to repurpose Patriots Day, Tax Day, and then that would become the day after Thanksgiving. But they recognized Juneteenth at the very end of it, which added another holiday into it. So that kind of like killed any momentum that had been made on the day after Thanksgiving.
So you just have to request on an annual basis from the board in order to do is what you're saying.
Yeah, because
Gotcha.
we're operating at your behest. So if you choose to allow us to do so, it's very kind and we appreciate it, but you don't necessarily have to.
And it's not,
Thank
so
you.
it's not a holiday as much, it's just a day that the office is closed.
Correct.
We're all using vacation time, Saul. It's
Yeah.
just, we just needed your approval to close the office.
I mean, I think to Aaron's point, we could grant that approval in perpetuity if we wanted to, right?
I
Yeah,
don't think we can because of the HR. So if somebody wants to work, then they should be allowed to work that time frame. However, I will say that they can still work in the office when the office is closed, because we're just saying we don't have office hours to the public that day.
Yes.
Yeah. It's a tricky one. I wouldn't do anything fancy pants tonight. We can talk to the town solicitor and see, if that's something that we could potentially do in the future. But I wouldn't say go there tonight.
Okay.
Awesome. Well, thank you. And the other thing I just wanted to throw out there ahead of time is I know Tim and I are going to go to the Northern New England Recreation and Parks Conference. It is in Conway, New Hampshire, and will be on January 11th, 12th, and 13th. We would like to give the new program coordinators the opportunity to also go. So if they would go, that would leave Abby at the office, and she's only there until 2:00. So if we were all to go, which I'm not sure that that's really going to happen, then, again, I would ask you in probably December if we could close the office for those days at 2 p.m. instead of 4. Just so, Abby doesn't have to put in those extra hours or, yeah.
Okay.
Tim, you want to go? I think this is the last one.
Kevin, let me know if you want to split a room if you're going.
Oh, yeah. Come, Kevin.
I was thinking about going.
You
So
can ride up with us.
Yeah. I'll take a look and see if I can do it.
It looks really good.
Yep.
All right. So this is the last one. I just kind of wanted to give an update on the budget process for fiscal year 23. So we talked about it a little bit, so I don't have to go over a whole lot more. But the first draft of it does have to be turned in this Friday. So what I'm turning in is the general fund portion of it, which would cover our staffing, full-time staffing costs, office supplies, utilities, things like that we want to take out of the programs having to pay for. So I've created that budget. We're, going to go through that process. As we start solidifying it a little bit more, I'll definitely bring it to the commission so you all can take a look at it and see how it's going to change. So I'm presenting my first numbers and then I'll sit down with Alicia and we'll sort it through. So once we get something more solidified, I definitely will do a presentation for the commission. It looks like I don't know if it's actually going to be like budget Saturday, but December 31st is when they want to have that preliminary budget book turned into the select board and FinCom. So typically in the past, if any of you have come to those budget hearings with me, that would be the time that we would do our presentation, communicate what our needs are. And then in March, that's when a final budget will be presented and will hopefully be approved by the select board and FinCom to go to the Springtown meeting. So if all that goes through and, July 1, 2022, that means that we would be on a general fund and revolving combined fund. And I definitely have to give a big shout out to Alicia Benjamin, the town finance director. She's just been such a great support through this whole process. And I know she's so overwhelmed with a lot of stuff that she has to catch up on. But she is really a great asset to the town. And I've really appreciated working with her and everything that she's done for our department. So just want to put that out there.
Okay.
Right. I don't know if Tim is still here or not. If he is not, we don't have any old business. So you know what time it is. There he is.
You're
Maybe you don't
muted,
know what time
Kevin.
it is.
Kevin, you're muted.
Is it motion to adjourn time?
It is Kevin.
Oh, okay, just checking.
Second.
All in favor, Aaron,
Yes.
Saul,
Yes.
Kevin,
Yes.
Mike,
Yep.
and I'm yes as well. So we are adjourned.
All right.